Today, I'm going to go over some of the more useful websites that I found and that I use for Final Fantasy XIV. If you have any website that's very useful, definitely leave it down in the comments below so we can help everyone out. I'm not going to go too depth on any of these. If I need to go deeper in depth, please let me know. But I'm just going to run through all of them that I use and find helpful, and hopefully you find them helpful too. I'm actually going to start out with the wiki. Just because I find that this one in particular is just like the most easiest to use, and the information just easy to digest. And for example, I'm on the relic page, say I forget a step. It's pretty easy to figure out what step you're on, and then you just kind of click and it goes through all the steps that you need for anything. I just like, if you have questions on a quest, you can type it in the search bar, it comes up, tells you what you need to do essentially. Just find it very easy and helpful. Use it pretty often. One of my favorite sites, if not my favorite sites, is actually the Garland Tools Org. This is just a database of everything that's in the game. You can search it up by patch, so if you ever want to see what's added in the new patch, you can do that. If you need help finding something, for example, this optic fiberglass was added, you can then just click on the gathering node and it'll tell you the next time it comes up. Just a lot of useful things. There are other gathering sites out there. I like this one just because I like being able to know everything that's in the patch. If there's new weapons, new fish, it'll tell me where I can find the fish and it'll show me on the map where I can find it. And basically everything you could need in the game, all in one spot. I really like this site, so I definitely think it's worth sharing. This one, I don't use this for notifications. You can use it for notifications. I use a Discord, but I'm not going to cover a lot of Discords. If you need some of those, let me know and I can make another video on that. But generally what this is used for is S ranks and fates, and it just kind of tells you when fates are available. You can filter it out by patch or not by patch, by expansion. And since I'm S rank hunting, I just have it set for all of Primal. You can set it for any of your data centers, and it'll just kind of show you how many S ranks can you expect to see, or how close are they to spawning, to know if today's the day that you wait by the Aetherite. And then another site, and this one probably gets the most traction for me, is the Universalis. It's just the online market board. You can sort by all the data centers. You can find the cheapest thing. For example, I was looking for the Expeditionaries Pantalones, and I just I was going to buy one for a new Glamour set. And I almost spent, I think I was looking on Behemoth or something. I was on Primal, and then I was looking at, I live on Exodus, and it was like, oh, this is really expensive. I just hit Primal, and it tells me where the cheapest one is that's available. So you can save a lot of gil this way. You can make a lot of money this way too if you want to look at the market boards. Admittingly, going into the next site is Saddlebag Exchange. I don't use this at all. But I do find it very helpful if you want to take the time to learn it. I just use this one because I'm not actually trying to make gil on the market board. But if you are, this is a good site to use because it'll identify trends. Say you're looking for scripts because you need orange scripts because you need to make all the new crafting gear. It'll just kind of break down what you can expect for prices, how much is volumes being sold, a lot of data here. And if you want to spend the time here and you are one that wants to make money on the market board, this is a very good site. Admittedly, again, I don't use it that much just because I don't usually care about market board values because I just find the cheapest thing. I'm not trying to make a lot of money there. But if you want to, you can definitely use this. This is another one. This is kind of just an achievement hunter thing. If you're into that, these are the next three, by the way. The sightseeing log, if you're working on that, this just kind of tells you, it goes down the list of everything. Hey, when is it available? What action do you need to use in order to find it? So just pretty self-explanatory here. It goes over everything that's in the game and just gives you all the tools that you need in order to do it. Now, these next two are interchangeable. I actually use these both, but I'm going to start with the one that I prefer, and that is Xib Collect. And the reason I like this one is because of how it is laid out. For example, this is generally used for achievement hunting, but even if you're not an achievement hunter, I think it's a great site because if you want a minion or a mount or a hairstyle, or you are doing blue mage, you can track it all easily. It tells you where you can find it all. And for example, I want the new, wolf mount because I'm obsessed with wolves. It tells you how you can get it. You can get a gold certificate and or 600 fox leaves, and then it tells you how many people own it, but that doesn't really matter. But I like it for all sorts of things. Minions, it's really good at too. There's a blue magic thing. You have to sign in on some of these if you want to track some of them. But that's not a big deal. Hairstyles, a lot of people love glam. It'll just tell you where you can get all of these hairstyles if you want. The new one comes out, you can see that it's from maps. So basically anything that you want to look for, it's available here. Triple Triad if you're into that. The same can be said for Lala achievements. I don't like the look of this one as much, even though it does show you where you can get these things and how you can get them, but you have to click on each one individually. I just like the look on this one just because it's how it's all laid out, but this does give you like a better view of what it is in game. And admittedly, I use this one just because of this tracking feature. Not because I think it's better than, the Xib Collect one, just because I started on this one and then I can just track and then you just click it and you're done. Same with the Triple Triad. I have another website for Triple Triad, but if you're just looking to collect all the cards, these are a great spot. Like if you are fighting all the NPCs like I have been, and you can just click off that you've done it, and then you can click off the card and it automatically checks off on your completion note. You can do that for a lot of things. There's a site for fish on here. If you're into catching all of those fish, just note, both of these things can be done on either site. I think with the exception, this one will only do big fish and this one does all fish. But other than that, pretty interchangeable. Pick your preference. I personally like this one. I just like the layout of it better. Doesn't matter. Speaking of fish, this is the Big Fish catalog. It's a fish tracker. You can check off that you also have all the fish here. I just like this one because it'll tell you when things are available. I actually don't know if the other sites will tell you if it's available, but I know this one does for sure. And then it just tells you all of the conditions and the locations and the bait and what you need to do in order to catch all of that. So if you're after big fish, this is a good site. This is what my friends who have Big Fish and Final Fish say to use. I haven't even attempted that. So if there's a big fisher who is watching this, definitely recommend or tell me what you should use for that. And speaking of that, I can't believe I forgot this, but ocean fishing, I can just Google this. Lulu Tools, this is a great site. I'm a world-class troller at its finest, and I use this site religiously because it's the only way you're going to ever get it done. I can do more tips on this achievement in particular if you want, but for those of you who are ocean fishing, this is a site that I would definitely recommend having. So just keep that in mind. And then this is the Triple Triad one. This site is dedicated only to Triple Triad, and the reason I like this one over the other ones is, say you're looking for the Outrider card or Outrunner card, and it'll tell you where you can find it, the exact coordinates and who you're talking to, and then if you click on it, it'll tell you the quest that you need to do in order to complete it. The other sites may do that. I just find this one a little bit more helpful because it just has all of the rule conditions if you want, if you're searching by NPC, how to play, tips for particular NPCs that you're playing to make it easier, the rules that they're gonna have. It's all in one place here. So this ARR Triple Triad site, very helpful if you are looking to do anything Triple Triad related. Now I'm gonna go on to one of my favorites. Actually, this is probably my favorite site. It is just XIV or Glamour, and it basically just shows you a picture of every single gear set in the game. You can get ideas for other people's glamours and stuff, and then you can change the model so that you can see what it'll look like on a female character or male character. You can sort by different raid content. Say I just want to know what all the raid gear looks like, and I can apply it, and then it'll just go through and show me all of the raid gear. And if it's dyeable, if you click in on it in some places, sometimes they'll show examples of it being dyed. But I just generally, if you're looking to make glams, is a good place. I'm not going to show all of the other, you can actually, well, I guess, but you can get ideas of what other people are doing. It's just a pretty nice site to, see pretty people. And then I'm going to go on to Teamcraft. I don't use this as much. but you definitely can. I don't really need it too much because I have my macro set up. After you get your macro set up, you don't really need it, but it's a good thing for you if you like need help with that. Because for example, the new crafter set came out. You just look up the item you want, and you can do crafting simulator and it'll show up. So what is it, the Everwinter set or whatever? I can just click on this, it'll show. I can type in my stats and say I'm at 5,000, even though that, well, maybe that's possible, and I have 629 stats and I'm level 100 and I'm a specialist and I have high quality everything, and it'll just tell you everything that you need to have, and then you can put your consumables, and then you just apply stats, and then you just like, hey, I need to find a rotation, and where it says somewhere, but I'm not gonna go with it. Actually, maybe I will. Reset rotation, find rotation, step by step, rotation finder, yeah. And then it'll give you a rotation if you want to find it, and then you can just click on it, it'll show you it, and then you can export to in-game macros, and it'll give you the in-game macro that you can use in order to craft it. Pretty handy. You can make lists. I don't have a list saved, but you can click on a bunch of items that you want. I'm not going to go too in depth, but you can make a list and it'll tell you all the materials you need to gather and when they're available and yada, yada, yada. So this is a site I'd get familiar with if you're into high-end crafting, but if not, you know, it's there for your tools. You're going to have to learn it on your own unless you want me to make another video on that. And then this one, this is my go-to guide for, you know, anything deep dungeon related, just because it's all in one place. It's very organized. This person did a phenomenal job. You can look up Palace of the Dead. You can look up by Heaven on High. You can look up on whatever. It gives you specific tips for floor set, what you need to do if you're going for your Necrochasm run. There's a lot of people who do content on that. I just find it very helpful all in one place. Examples of what traps are, breakdowns of what you want to see from bosses. So like if I just run down here, it'll tell you what the boss is, and it gives you like a little TLDR. I said TDLR so many times in so many videos, so it's too didn't long read, just so you know. But yeah, it'll just give you kind of a breakdown of every boss you need to do, tips, mobs to enjoy or avoid, and that. So I don't know, I love this one. It'll definitely be down in the comments below. Anyone who does deep dungeon content for the first time or just starting, I would highly recommend checking out this guide. Having it pinned is just extremely helpful. And then admittedly, Twitter or X or whatever, I totally understand if you don't want to be on this site, but Kiko Star does a phenomenal place of, you know, doing the weekly fashion report. It's all here. Just best way to get MGP in the game. Every single week. They've been updating it forever, and I definitely think it deserves a shout out. If there are other places for fashion report, I actually don't know, just because I found them first, but definitely worth checking out. But yeah, those are all the sites that I have that I use quite often and that are very helpful. If you have any suggestions, definitely leave down in the comments below. If I need to go deeper and dive on like how to use the ocean fishing or how to use Teamcraft, let me know. I can definitely make a video on that. I just want to make a quick video on some of the best websites in the game and, you know, just help you get started. But yeah, as always, I hope you have a great day.